Welcome to Sunday School for Sunday, September 14th, 2025 for our junior students, ages 9 to 11. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's Bible basis is coming out of Acts chapter 4, beginning at verse 34 and ending at Acts chapter 5, verse 10. The title of today's story, Toy Drive. What are you doing, Joanna? Mom came into her room as Joanna put the rest of her stuffed animals in the bag. I want to help. Mom sat on the edge of the bed. Help? With what? Joanna sat next to Mom. My teacher told us some of the kids who live in that town where the tornado was still don't have their stuff back. I have lots of stuffed animals and I wanted to give them to those kids who don't have any. Mom wrapped her arm around Joanna's shoulder and hugged her tight. I think that sounds like a great idea. I bet I could talk to my friends and get them to give some of their stuffed animals and toys too. Joanna grew more excited. I bet we could get everyone at school and church to give toys and stuffed animals, like the toy drive at Christmas for the kids in Mexico. Could you help me find out who to give them to so the kids will get them? You bet I can. Mom pulled out her phone. In fact, I know Pastor Mark is friends with the pastor there. Why don't we ask him? Great. Joanna bounced up and headed for her art table. I'll start making signs to tell people about it. Joanna drew, colored, and carefully wrote until she had enough signs. When she went to bed that night, she thanked God for helping her find a way to help others. What are some ways you might be able to help others? The apostles spent most of their time preaching, not working, but they still needed to eat. There were other members of the church who had money or land. They sold whatever they could and gave the money to the apostles to use to live on and to give to those who needed help. Acts chapter 4, beginning at verse 34 and ending at Acts chapter 5, verse 10. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. And Joses, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is, being interpreted, the son of consolation, a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira his wife sold a possession, and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part, and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thy heart to lie to the Holy Ghost, and to keep back part of the price of the land? While it remained, was it not thy own? And after it was sold, was it not in thy own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thy heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto God. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost, and great fear came on all them that heard these things. And the young men arose, wound him up, and carried him out, and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in. And Peter answered unto her, Tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, Yea, for so much. Then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young men came in, and found her dead, and carrying her forth, buried her by her husband. On a sheet of paper, write down some of the things early believers did to support the church. Next, circle the ones you could still do today. On the extra lines, write other ways people support the church today. And don't forget about serving in ministries and prayer support. The memory verse. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them and brought the prices of the things that were sold. And that's Acts chapter 4, verse 34. What kinds of things could you give to help others? They can be things or money, or you could give your time. What are some things you could do to help others? What could you share with your friends? Is there something you have that you know other people might enjoy? And how could you share it with them? You are challenged to find a way to give to others this week, using ideas from class or come up with your own. Find a way to give material goods or your time to help others. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.